Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share chicken biryani recipes. This is going to be quite different from the usual biryanis that we make at our homes. We'll be cooking the chicken and the rice separately and then we'll mix it together and dum cook it for 20 to 30 minutes. So let's check out the ingredients. Today I'm going to share the recipe for 500 grams of rice, but the detailed recipe for 1 kg of rice is given in the description box below. You can have a look. And for half a kg of rice, we are taking 3 large onions. Cut this lengthwise into very small thin pieces and keep this aside. Ginger and garlic, totally we are using 75 grams. So half the portion make it into a paste and the remaining half keep this aside to make a separate masala for chicken. And then shallots, around 10 to 12 numbers of shallots, that is 50 grams. Cut this into small pieces and keep this aside. And then 2 lemons. Rice is exactly half a kg. Measure this in the usual cups that you have at home. It should be 500 grams, and measure this in a tumbler or a cup and keep this aside. Now don't soak the rice at the beginning. I'll let you know when to soak the rice while making the biryani. So the remaining ingredients are tomatoes. I have taken 2 small tomatoes, a bunch of coriander and mint leaves, green chilies, onions. I've cut them into thin pieces and kept that aside, and ginger and garlic, half I have made it into a paste. Then chili powder, coriander powder and garam masala. If you're using store-bought masala, it is 3 teaspoons of biryani masala. Now in a mixer jar, I'm taking the remaining half of the ginger and garlic, and then half the amount of shallots, half the amount of green chilies, and half the amount of mint and coriander leaves. Grind this to a nice paste without adding water. Grind this to a nice paste. Now we'll be marinating the chicken. So I have taken chicken, 750 grams of chicken. Yes, for 500 grams of rice, I'm using 750 grams of chicken. Add the ground paste. Now to this we'll be adding half a cup of curd, and then add in the spices, that is half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of garam masala. If it is ready-made biryani masala, it is 1.5 teaspoons of biryani masala. And then salt, 1 tablespoon of ghee, 1 tablespoon of oil. Now using your hands, mix all of these ingredients well with the chicken. So use your hands and mix this so that you coat all the pieces evenly with the marinade. And this has to marinate at least for a minimum of 30 minutes because curd will help to tenderize your chicken, and the chicken has to absorb all the spices and the flavors from the ginger, garlic, mint and coriander, so that it will not be bland like the other biryanis. Usually the chicken is bland, right? But this chicken will be even more juicier and tastier. Finally, squeeze in lemon from 1 lemon. We are squeezing juice from 1 lemon. And I'm going to marinate this for 30 minutes. Even more than that is okay, totally fine. Like you can marinate for 1 or 2 hours and then start the biryani if you have time. So I'm marinating it in the same vessel that I'm going to cook, so that I don't keep transferring it multiple times. So after 30 minutes, keep the pan on the stove. Cover this. We are not adding any water to the chicken because the chicken itself will let out juice. That itself is more than enough. I'm using a heavy stone on top so that I could seal the lid and lock the steam. And this is, I'm cooking this in low flame, not medium flame, completely low flame for 12 to 15 minutes. And not more than that. Cooking it more for more time will make the chicken a little rubbery. So after 15 minutes, if you open the pan and see, the chicken is nicely cooked. I didn't disturb it in between. It is exactly 15 minutes, and if you see, the chicken is nicely cooked and you've got enough chicken stock as well. It's nicely boiling. I'm going to turn off the stove. I'm just checking all the pieces. It's nicely cooked well in this gravy. So once the chicken is nicely cooked and done, that is when we'll be soaking the rice for the biryani. So I didn't soak it in the beginning because it will definitely take a long time. So the rice has to soak only for 20 minutes and not more than that, or else it will break and the biryani will become mushy. So measurements and timing is very important while making biryani. Just keep a note of it and follow it exactly as it is. Now the rice is now soaking. In the meantime, we'll remove the chicken pieces separately and keep that aside, and we'll measure the water for our rice. We'll first see how much chicken stock is left, and the remaining we'll add water. So remove the chicken pieces. Now if you see, the chicken is nicely cooked in the spices, and it's also become tender. So keep that aside. So now we have this stock left. Let's measure it and see how much is there, and the remaining amount we'll add water. So for this recipe, if you are cooking this, you have to cook this in an open pan. Please don't use a pressure cooker. So we have 1 and 3/4 cup of chicken stock. So in this cup, I got the rice that I'm using is exactly 2 cups. So we'll need to add 4 cups of water. I have almost 2 cups of chicken stock. So the remaining I'm adding water. This is boiling hot water. Add water and keep it separately. Usually when you're making biryani in larger quantities, we tend to forget the amount of water that we used. So before you start the biryani, it is better to measure the water and keep it aside so that you don't mess up on the count. Now let's start making the biryani, the main procedure. Take a wider vessel and a heavy bottom vessel. Add oil. Now totally for 500 grams of rice, I'm using 150 ml of oil, and add cardamom pods, then cloves, some shahi jeera, and cinnamon and star anise. You can also use bay leaf. Season the oil, and then we'll add the onions. To this we'll also be adding the remaining shallots that we have. Cooking the onions will take some time, so please be a little patient and cook this through until the onions are nice and brown. Browning of onions is very important while making biryani, so it shouldn't be raw, or else it'll change the taste of the entire biryani. So you can add salt to fasten the process. Keep stirring this well and mixing it well until the onions turn nice and brown. So if you cut this like really thin, it will cook faster. So if your pieces are chunky, it might take even more longer time. So that's why cut this into very thin pieces and add this for frying. So if you see, this is almost done. The color has changed to a nice golden brown color. And to this, after the onions are cooked, to this oil we'll be adding our coriander, mint leaves and green chilies. Adding coriander, mint leaves and green chilies directly to the oil will actually enhance the flavor. It will give a nice aroma, and the oil also will be nicely infused with these flavors. So add this directly to the oil. So after this is cooked really well, we'll add the ginger and garlic paste. So ginger and garlic paste, I'm using 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic. So after you add ginger and garlic, keep stirring it because this will actually start catching at the bottom and it will burn really quick. So keep stirring it until the raw smell of the ginger and garlic leaves. And after that is cooked, we'll be adding the tomatoes. So before adding the tomatoes, you can also use chili powder directly to the oil if you want a nice color to your biryani. Adding chili powder directly to the oil will give a nice red color to your biryani. So you can add that. That is totally up to your choice. So even the tomatoes has to cook really well. It has to change color, and it has to turn mushy as well. So cook this through completely. And after the tomatoes are cooked, we'll add the spices. Now if you're using store-bought biryani masala, it is 1.5 teaspoons of biryani masala. Otherwise it is half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, and half a teaspoon of garam masala. Just mix this well. And finally add curd. This is half a cup of curd. So if you've noticed, we have used the same ingredients to cook the chicken and the rice in two different steps, and then we'll be mixing them. So before we add the rice, we'll have to add the chicken stock and water. So after you mix this curd well, it's time to add the chicken stock and water. Just close this and let this boil for about a minute or two, and once the water starts boiling, it's time to add the rice. But before we add the rice, you should always be very careful, because you have to check for salt and the spice at this point. You cannot make any changes later on. So check for salt. It should be a little bit more. So add salt. And then squeeze in lemon juice. So lemon will actually help to keep the rice a little firm, and your rice will not break if you add lemon juice at this point. And then finally add the basmati rice, that is soaked rice. This is exactly soaked for 20 minutes, and now it's time to add the rice. While mixing the rice, it's better if you always use a flat ladle or a flat spoon so that you don't break the rice. Give a gentle mix, cover, and we are going to let this cook in medium to low flame for about 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, if you open the lid and see, the rice has nicely absorbed all the water, and you still have some more water and moisture left. So just use a very flat spoon and just give a mix. You don't have to mix it, just check if it is having a little more moisture. Just cutting it like a piece of a cake. So at this point we'll be adding the chicken pieces. So if you see, the rice is half done, not 3/4 done, it's half done, and at this point I'm adding the chicken pieces. So you can remove the rice separately, keep the chicken pieces, and then again layer it with the rice. But I'm not doing that now. I'm just going to make some partition and holes in between, and I'm just going to press the chicken pieces inside the rice. Be very gentle and tender while handling the chicken and the rice, so that you don't tend to break any of the pieces and the rice. So I added all the chicken pieces, and I'm going to press this inside. So now press this evenly, and then finally add ghee on top. I'm adding exactly 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of ghee. Now if you're using mutton, the procedure is going to be the same, except that the mutton will take a little longer time to cook. And adding ghee while making mutton biryani is totally up to your choice, because the mutton itself will have a lot of fat. So you can reduce the amount of ghee that you're using if it is mutton. Now cover this and let this cook on low flame for 20 minutes. So I'm just going to place a heavy stone on top again, so that steam doesn't go, and I have lowered the flame as well. Keep a stone on top and let this cook on low flame for 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, turn off the stove and leave it for another 20 minutes without disturbing the biryani and chicken. So totally 40 minutes after we have put it under dum. 20 minutes in low flame and 20 minutes without the flame. So after 40 minutes, if you open and see, the biryani is nice and ready. Let's see if it is nice and fluffy. On top itself you can see the grains are nice and separate. So you can use a fork or a flat spoon to just check if it is nice and fluffy. If you see, it is nicely come out. The flavor and the aroma is like really amazing. So be very gentle while mixing the rice. You can transfer it to a serving bowl or a serving tray, or you can also leave it as it is. So the biryani is ready now. You can serve this with some nice raita. I'm going to show you how to make pomegranate raita. So in a bowl, take 2 large onions, cut this into small pieces and add this to a bowl, and 1 green chili and some coriander leaves. Mix this well, and then pomegranate seeds from half pomegranate, add that as well, and then add some salt, sugar, mix it with some curd, and you can serve this. You can also make cucumber raita or carrot raita. Everything will go perfectly well with biryanis. And I'm adding salt and sugar, so don't skip adding sugar because that will also give a nice flavor to your raita. So mix this well and finally add curd. Add thick and creamy curd and mix this well. The amount of curd is up to your choice. You can add how much ever you want and mix this well, and you can serve this with your biryani. Now it's time to serve. You can serve this with some boiled eggs and fried chicken like chicken 65 or chili chicken. This recipe might look like time consuming and look like a long procedure, but actually if you follow the procedure exactly and the measurement exactly, it is quite easy. So please do try and leave your comments below. If you're trying this for the first time, you might not get this right the first time you make it, but just keep trying and practicing, you will get it right. So hope you like this video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching, and see you all again with another recipe video. Thank you and take care.